We're jumping in a little bit earlier. I'll just get things out of the way. Got to replace a inductor on this board. This is the board that we were working on the other night, and I just simply have not had a chance to get back to it. The hell? Someone trying to call me at this hour of the night? Why do people try to call me at strange hours? Almost always scammers. 99% of all communications I have on my phone are scams. So people go, why don't you answer your phone? It's like, it's 99% of the time it's scammers. You can just message me. It's the modern world, we can do that now. We don't have to answer every phone call. JFix Thomas Tanmaya? Shield Hero got you to click, yeah. Netflix has got it at the moment, Rise of the Shield Hero, so I think I'm up to like episode 6 or so at the moment. So yeah, I'm enjoying watching that. There's a bit of light, light change in life. Okay, so we've got a cracked inductor here that we have to just take off and replace. It doesn't seem to be really causing any trouble, but we're just going to replace it anyway for the sake of doing things right. A3X, Baker Manager. Naturally, it's right next to one of those standoffs. Naturally. Hey, Cypher Labs. First 2 seasons were good, but then... Oh, there's more than 2 seasons? Holy crap. Okay, yeah, I'm just at the very, very start. It's not unusual for subsequent seasons to do that. Not unusual at all. Hey Jim. Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened to this inductor. If you did watch the previous stream, you'll know that there's a number of weird things going on with this board. There's strange marks on it, things like that. Stuff I can't explain. Supernatural stuff. This is... It's like it took a hit from above or something like that. Just clipped the corner right out. It's weird. Yeah, I better get a replacement. Please bring the job number back on screen so we can update our shadow data. Yeah, probably not going to do that too frequently. Okay, I'll hot air this thing off. Oh, I got the burnt. I mean, I have my internal job codes all sorted out. Whenever I scan it, it sets it up. Come on. Oh, that was fun. Hey, David VC. In terms of repairability, honestly, yeah, I know a lot of people are not happy with what they're doing, making it harder and harder to repair and things like that. But I guess it's more a case of the scope of which you can repair is probably narrowing. But they are still entirely repairable in my opinion. Yeah, it's just obviously there's a greater number of things that, oh well, you know, we can't change these chips or whatever. But fortunately they're using so many MLCCs now that you still get a fair bit of repairability no matter what. So I suppose you could say I'm not too stressed about it. I don't find them to be anything better or worse. Look, the only where I do have a complaint is the style of the MacBook Airs, how they've got this what do you call it, pressed on metal outer shield and things like that. It's like, ugh, it's terrible. Well, that's not perfectly lined up, but that is perfectly fine though. Hey Kudos, using the proper name today, thank you, appreciate that. And Teresa. I think we'll live with that. I mean, I'm not going to deny Apple and basically every other company out there is doing their very best to ensure that they can deny you the ability to relatively easily repair your machine. You know, they're not going to do anything more than they absolutely must by the letter of the law. And even then they'll probably push that for a fair bit because they figure, well, realistically there's not enough resources out there to police those kind of rules. So they'll just default to not doing anything. And then if they're called out on it, then maybe they'll do something, but not really. And it's not just Apple, it's every single company out there is going to be doing it. Even most likely ones that are trying to champion that they're not like that. I know there's several, well I shouldn't say several, I know there's a business out there that says they carry the flag of repairability and things like that, and they do to a degree, but when it comes to getting access to certain information, all of a sudden they're just like everybody else. Did you know that inductors can have polarity? Yes, they can, yes. Depending on how they're wound, you can either have leading on the inner wind or the outer wind. In most cases it usually doesn't matter, but I'm sure there are some specific instances where it does. Let's get this thing back together. Hey, Mr. Fishing. Hey, Guzman. Samsung and iFixit stuff was fun. Hey, Slime. Missed the Samsung thing. What was that about? Here we go. And we do have more machines to repair after this one. This is kind of like, instead of me spending 30 minutes jibber-jabbering, having coffee or something like that, I spend the first sort of 15 minutes fixing up a tail end of a job that needs doing. Oh yeah, Battle of the Planets, Star Blazers, Astro Void, don't forget Ulysses 31, Cities of Gold. What else was there? There were so many good ones. And then you get modern movie length ones such as Your Name and Suzume. Very good. I don't watch a lot, but I do find myself enjoying that kind of stuff rather than Hollywood production stuff. Hey Rilla, sabermetric. Oops. Samsung was going to let iFixit sell official parts, but Samsung wanted third-party repairs to give Samsung customers. Oh yeah, hell no. Yeah, that is kind of like what Apple did with the whole Apple authorized repair program that they had going. If you were sort of unlucky enough to get drawn into that as a business, it was basically like having an auditor sitting on your head. It was not a good idea. A PR, a Teslas. Oh my god. This is just an A1990 that we did the other day. I'm just trying to close it all up, get it all ready. I should have done this on Monday, but other things have been taking precedence. Not to mention trying to fix up bugs in software. Every time I release a version of Flexboard View, it's only a matter of hours and someone reports a new bug and you're like, damn it. And it seems like no matter how small a new feature it is that you might add, it always seems to have some sort of like cascading effect on the rest of your code. And I mean, yeah, I'm no stranger to that. It is just the way it works, it seems. You make a little 5-minute adjustment and it turns into a 5-day fiasco, trying to work everything else around the fact that you made that adjustment. Ultimately, it typically brings the code forward. Sometimes you just have to abandon ship and roll back. Hey Tony W and Martin R. Is it wise to buy an Apple refurbished iPhone? That is a tough call, you know. I find the iPhone 11s are quite good. The biggest problem tends to be who you're getting it from. I think if you can find on the second-hand market one that is genuinely just been sold off because they upgraded to, say, like a 14 or something like that, and if it hasn't had any work done on it, then yeah, I mean, they're perfectly good. I mean, I use iPhone 11s that I bought from someone else. To be fair, I bought them after I already had done work on them, so I knew what was inside. But on the other hand of that is the fact that I get a lot of iPhones in that people have bought supposedly from a reputable refurbishing agent or something like that, and they're an absolute piece of junk inside. So yeah, tough call. If you can find a good source, then yes, no problem at all. I mean, iPhone 11s are still perfectly, how could you say, perfectly functional this day and age. About the only thing I wish they had was a little bit more on the frame rate on the display. You don't really realise you would like that until you get one of the newer ones and you realise how fluid the new displays are. But aside from that, I've got no qualms about my iPhone 11. It does 4K 60 recording. It's pretty good. Just downloaded 56 gigs of XEZ and it contained a schematic that you needed. Oh, cool. Well, yeah, that's good to hear, JFix. Yes. I mean, obviously, I didn't get those files down. Other people did. Collaborative effort, as it were. I just wrote the... Oh, what? Where's my screwdriver? I need the screwdriver to put these chassis screws in. Ah, there it is. Does the free version open it? Yes, it does. Which I sometimes wonder whether it was a dumb idea by me. But yes, it does. And at this point, as far as I know, it's the only free board viewer program that will open up XZZ files. There are some forks of Open Board View that will, and I see that there is development work being done to actually get the Open Board View PR pushed through. But at the moment, as it stands, the Flexboard View is the only one out there. Rightio, I need my little baggie. Yeah, precisely, Slime. Unless you want to compile the ABV fork yourself. Okay, it's looking good. Pull the plug, still stays on. That's even better. That's nice. Excellent. Just gonna put the broken parts in the little baggie. Oh, where'd the inductor go? Oh, there it is. Put a sticker in there. And that can go into the archive of bits taken from MacBooks. And eventually I should have enough bits that I might be able to make my own working MacBook. Except the trouble is they're all broken bits, so maybe not. Alright, let's close this up. Okay. Put that onto the shelf to go out for invoicing. What do we got? Okay. What's this one? Fan starts, but laptop doesn't turn on. MacBook Pro 13-inch. What is this? It's a 1706. Right, this will be an interesting one, I think. Hey, Jim. I got to be careful though with what I do put out for free in terms of software, because I do feel like I might have stepped over the line a little bit with the latest one, where I provided the ability to very easily put the network name or the part name into the, what do you call it, clipboard. So it makes it very easy then to use the free version and still jump back and forth between another schematic reader. And, you know, like I said, I feel like in terms of trying to get people to move to your commercial version, you do need to have a threshold of pain there. And I feel like I kind of took that away. And I know some people say, well, you know, you shouldn't be greedy like that. But the reality is I've still got to pay the mortgage. I've got to pay for my own wage to develop the software. And there's no reason that people shouldn't be expecting to have everything as easy as they want for a free piece of software. Particularly that it's well ahead of all the others. Pro engineer, you now got permission. Okay. This is weird. Why would you be screaming like this? Clearly something's not right. You know, a sensor or something is causing this to go crazy. It's very strange. Don't let people whine about paying things. Well, I do agree with you. I guess it's a case of, you know, I want to sort of show that I'm one of you. But then again, maybe I'm not anymore. Maybe the fact that I am a commercial software closed source person, that excludes me now from the camp. It's interesting, we actually don't have any activity on these lights. So the system is not booted as such. It's turned off. I'm just going to take the board out and see if we've got some kind of weird corrosion somewhere. It's a bit I don't know what to think of these symptoms. Usually high fan spin, you're kind of expecting some kind of sensor failure somewhere. I'll pay for the license when I can justify the cost. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Yeah, if you're and I think this is why it slightly gets my back up with the whole making it too easy thing. If you're a hobbyist and you do a computer maybe once a month or something, I'm glad I disconnected that battery. Did you see that? I just dropped the screwdriver tip on there. Just hands off. If you're doing it strictly as like once a month, maybe once every 6 months or something, then yeah, there's no point you buying a license. And the pressure's not on you to be as efficient with the searching back and forth as if you were doing it commercially. But I think where a lot of the whining comes from is from people who are doing it commercially but don't want to pay the license. And so they're going, it's taken me too long to do this, I want to make it quicker without having to pay you anything. And so I feel like I've all of a sudden got a large portion of those people. Lest we provide for other people as well, we have no community, just every moment of lives monetized. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we don't want to go over the top with monetizing everything. And I mean, I think for the last 30 plus years I've been producing open source software for people. So yeah, I sort of feel like, you know what, I've done more than my fair share. And I continue to do that with a lot of other things. But yeah, I'm kind of getting a bit sick of the whining. Well, not whining, I guess. It's more the people trying to subvert the commercialization. Well, that's true, Cordos, yeah. And Sean, that's exactly right. If you are doing it commercially, you definitely can afford the license. And if you cannot afford the license, then you probably want to reconsider your commercial situation. I mean, it's cheaper than a freaking Windows license. And it's perpetual, unlike Windows, it seems. You all know the pros. I guess I'm just venting while I can. For professional software, it's nothing. I do agree. I mean, you take a look at something like OrCAD or what's the other one? I mean, agreeably, they're very different packages. But paying a few $1,000s for a piece of software like Flexboard View is not unheard of in the commercial sector. In fact, that's comparatively cheap. And as a bit of a bonus hilarity, a lot of the time those multi-$1,000 commercial software packages, you have to renew them every year. And they usually have some very draconian stipulations about them. You can easily find yourself falling rather afoul of their license terms and conditions, and you get slapped with another bunch of $1,000 because of the lack of compliance. Let's see, Brad's guitar guy paid $20,000 for your CAD software. Whoo-wee. Yeah. What was your CAD software? Altium was the other thing I was thinking of. Yeah, Altium, OrCAD, anything like that. Anyway, whining doesn't fix anything, and I'm not asking anyone to fix anything. I'm not asking anyone to give me advice or anything like that. It's just I like to every now and then have a bit of a complain. Sort of, it's my moment of exasperation. Corel Draw for $900, been on 8 years. Funny. So, oh, well, yeah. That's annoying when old software does eventually give up like that. You could always try running in a virtual machine. I mean, the machines are fast enough these days. Alright, we've got to heat up the Touch ID Flex here a little bit. Otherwise, it gets ripped off. Hey, Evil Moid rather, sorry. Just out of curiosity, which is more productive for you? Hardware repair jobs? Or Sylvia, it actually depends on the day, to be honest. And I think that's why I continue to do both. Because some days it's the hardware and some days it's the software. Plus, I think that doing the hardware, if nothing else, gives me a better view on what's sort of needed to be done on the software. So I become my own sort of test case, my own customer of the product. Hey, 10 minute. Alright, that took us a while to get this out. What have I got? Looks pretty clean. This could actually be an external issue. There could be a problem with the trackpad, the screen. Yeah, it could be. Actually, you know what? It could actually be the screen. It could be that the camera in the screen has gone off. We'll have a look at the board anyway. My fear is if I buy now, I'll be locked out of your next update. Draco, you mean versions? You'd have to wait till version 6 for that to happen. And remember, there's always going to be a discounted path up. I mean, I don't see... Okay. Oh, the audio chip. Oh, okay. Anyway, damn it. Once again, I have failed in performing a Joey Does Tech suspense build-up. Instead, I just throw the board under the microscope, and straight away the fault's like, oh, I'm over here, I'm going to make your stream really short and boring. Anyway, the audio chip. That'll explain it, probably. It's making it too easy, man. Too easy. Tunmei, do you think that Inkscape is ever going to get good CMYK support? I mean, CMYK support in Linux has been something that they've been yabbering about since, geez, I mean, even in the 90s we were talking about it, particularly with GIMP at the time. But it just never seems to materialize in a kind of a, how could you say, a really solid standard. It's kind of like audio with Linux. It's always a real crap fest. I'm just checking the rest of the board just in case there's something else I've missed, but no, that's a piece of dirt on there. Jim, good point. Yeah, I shouldn't jinx myself. Thank you for putting me back in my place. Making sure I don't behave like a galah. It certainly would fit the symptoms, best I can tell. We'll verify by having a look at the board view and schematic and having a look at what line it was that's being attacked there. Hey, Mr. Bodger. Right, Tunmo, okay, yeah. How long have you been following it? But yeah, it's been a disaster. I shouldn't say disaster, but it's been a frustration for a very long time, the lack of proper CMYK support. And of course we can't do Pantone, or at least I don't think we can do Pantone. Unless, does Pantone produce a some sort of kit for Linux? Some sort of installation? Okay. They don't? Okay. Alright, the Pantone stuff I must have been thinking of was probably just someone doing their own thing. Okay, this is a 239 board or something. Catch around, B-Blood. B-Blood, rather. Let's see, 239, 239, there we go. Alright, our thingamajig is over here. Which one is it? It's one close in here. What the hell? L80, what? L83 Flynn. Yep, that's totally makes sense. Hey there, Mental Theo. Let's see, what is this? Okay, that's going to be some sort of fly. That's going to be like a doubler. So what they're doing there is they're basically charge pumping, that's from what I can gather. And so they can get a nice high voltage for something. I'm not exactly sure what they're using the high voltage for, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's there for. That would be my guess anyway, because these don't go anywhere else, and we've got P, N, and C, so for center tap. Yeah, curious. Alright, so I guess we'll just take that off. The chip itself, the controller, seems to be okay. A bit of flux. Just take a great big, just dipping that big loogie. It's, honestly, that thing is like the pitch drop test. Pitch blend drop test. I don't know if you know about that one. It's like a science experiment that's been going on for I can't remember how many years, but it's been going for a long time, and I think they've only had about 2 or 3 no, they've had more drops than that, 5 or 6 drops. See you, Brad. You have a good one. Thanks for dropping in, eh? Hey, Quicksilver, just saw you sneaking in there. Goddamn bird beak tweezers. I'm gonna have to fix those up. Let's see what sort of damage we've got down there. Don't like that. Don't like that. It looks like it's pretending that it's not really that damaged, but I think it's potentially a little more hurt than I want. I could be wrong, could be difficult just trying to see through the flux. Okay, not as bad as I thought. I'm happy for that. So just get rid of the oxidation off that pad. See how much further it went up there. Okay, that's what I was looking at, that orangey oxidized copper. Okay, I think it's okay. Saying okay a lot, Mr. Daniels, saying okay. So I just have transfer some alcohol into my container. Sip for me, sip for you. Though probably not a good idea to have any of this alcohol. I don't imagine IPA is too good for the human liver. Probably going to mess up quite a lot of biological processes if you consume that stuff. Yeah, Quicksilver, it works nice. I'll give him credit for that one. Have you tried it, have you? Or are you just witnessing it? I never really would have thought of using a microfiber cloth to clean up all the flux and stuff. It was not on my list of things to try. Can confirm those nodes are for the charge pump. Oh, thanks, Dave. Did you manage to find the, what do you call it, the data sheet for the chip, did you? Yep, Mr. Daniels didn't get the blob of solder on the right place. Okay, there we go. That's nice. It's a little bit too much solder there, but we can live with that. Use it after your lovely jubbly reflow work. Lovely job. Who came up with that? Tell me, what is it? Yeah. Not a term I would normally use here. Okay, these are 2.2 10 volt 402s. Now, really, you don't think that maybe ethanol might be a smidge better? At least we can metabolize ethanol relatively well. On the other hand, not so much methanol. That's weird. In my brain, I actually meant to turn the tweezers around, but I ended up turning the capacitor around. Oh, don't you just love it when the brain takes the things that you're thinking you want to do and does something else with it. There we go. Nice. Beautiful Bella. Hey, Peer Human. It's funny how everyone keeps bringing out the Indian Pale Ale comparison, and yet I've never heard of Indian Pale Ale prior to everybody commenting about it. You would have thought I would have heard of something like that being overseas and everything, but nope. Only now. Hi, Paul Norman, welcome. LD50 is 1280 milligrams a kilo. Okay, that's actually pretty. That's a pretty massive amount. But I mean, that's the death. But the question is, what's the measure for irreversible damage? I mean, there's plenty of people that get seriously effed up, but they don't die. Alright, let's give this a go and see if that has resolved our issue. It'd be awfully nice if it did. Could do with this, and then I can go back and do more software development. Fix up the bugs that Gear produced for me. Stupid, stupid little bugs. It was actually fun with the coding today because I discovered something that I had assumed incorrectly for many years, and the only reason why it had never become a problem is because of the way I did my coordinate system. So it was that was a bit of a shocker to to find out this thing that I found out today. Okay. I'm taking a gamble here, putting this back in without, testing outside of the case. But yeah, this is not like it's a 2141 or a one of the more advanced machines with stupid number of flexes on it. Probably the worst thing about the 1706s is the battery data flex. That thing, if you snap it, it's a disaster because it's integrated into the battery. So if you tear it, you have to get a whole new battery. Odds of success at 60%. It's lower than I thought you would. I'm sitting at 90. 10% margin left over. I have missed something blatantly obvious, or it's a chassis issue. But the trouble is, the whole thing is too clean, or at least to me, it's a very clean chassis, so it kind of reduces the possibility of it being a chassis-related issue. Like if you open up a chassis, a case, and it's got lots of dust and just the normal things in it, you kind of go, okay, there's a reasonably good chance that we could have a trackpad issue or a display issue or something like that. But this one's very clean. Hello, Alexandria. Sean Johnson, it does involve floating point math, but not quite what you're detailing there, but it definitely does involve floating point math. And it came about due to myself migrating from integer math with the coordinate system and moving to the floating point system. And I just did a replacement that I thought made sense, and it didn't. There was an issue there. Alright, so here we go. We're going to leave the Wi-Fi cables floating for the moment. Some people drink formaldehyde. No idea why. Okay, we immediately get a fan up spin, so no, that's bad news. Damn you! Could it be a bad chip still? They'd be very surprised if a bad audio chip could do this, but who knows? I mean, the charging's good and proper. No cap locks. I'll see if I've got another 1706 and we'll do a chassis swap just to work out whether we've still got a board issue or whether there's also an issue with this case. 1706s, where art thou? What's the bet? I do not have a proper working 1706. I've got so many 2179s. Even got a 2251. I mean, who the hell even has a 2251 anymore? Oh, come on. I've got to have a 1706 lurking somewhere. It's interesting that it's charging. Let's see, U1706. Very dusty 1706 if you are. No, you're the dreaded 1989. Ugh. I get caught out that far too often. I think I've got a 1706, but it's no, it's a 1989. Oh, and I do not have a display for that one. Another 1989. Ugh. Crap. Okay, Tony Nash, you take care. It's interesting that the USB does not light up. Let's try power it up. And it just goes straight to Alright, now we just start taking bits and disconnecting them. Okay, so it's not battery related, or maybe it is, like it can't see a battery, but it doesn't quite feel like that. Disconnect the display. Nope. Trackpad. Nope. Keyboard. Oh, the enable. Okay, we've got a very fast. Yeah, we've got a very fast reset going on there. That's very weird. What do we do? It's 20 volts, so we might actually get a infrared signature on that. So even though it's only call it 100 milliamps, it's going to be about 2 watts, 1 watt. Let's see, what's the bet? The battery's flat. Are you flat? Is that really it, or is it something else? No, it does seem to be getting warm down there. Let's disconnect it and see what happens. If that all fades away. Okay, so whatever's on the opposite side of the board there has a problem. So we've got a compound fault. Hey Eddie. Interesting that it changes behavior once the keyboard was removed. I'm not sure what to think about that. Guess we'll find out. We'll take it out, we'll power it up, see what happens. Oh well, looks like I jinxed myself there like a galah, Jim. I guess it made for a slightly more interesting stream, rather than just being another classic NRF production. I don't think it was Wi-Fi because it was on the other side. I mean, it could be... I'll have to have a look. It could be the electronics powering the Wi-Fi. That has happened in the past. I'm pretty sure on these ones I can still replace the Wi-Fi chip. I know I have done a replacement in the past, but I don't know if it was on this particular model. There's a big fat cap down there. Tunvir, it's a FLIR 1 Pro. Are you talking about the infrared? But it's a custom sort of configuration, so it doesn't really count. It's not like it's something you can buy. Or are you talking about the visual camera? There's something around here. Certainly nothing blatant. Let's power it up and see what it is. The gym cam, yes. What to do with my USB-C thingies? Gotcha. Hey Paul Howe, welcome. Okay, you're in the background. Try not to speak too loudly until you get your coffee. Oh, that's what I get for reorganizing my desk. Oh, now I'm... Ah, finally. Yeah, I wasn't sure if there was a crack in that particular cap or not. I'll see if I can do an ouchie test. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, that's an ouchie test. That hurt. Didn't feel it for a bit. Didn't feel it. And then all of a sudden it burnt me. Something down here. We'll go the IPA route. I think it's either that or it could be one of these. Oh, that one, yeah. And you know what? That's actually sitting at an odd angle. It's like it's been blown off the... Yeah, check that. Is it? Yeah, that's sitting at an odd angle. It's not sitting down properly. Would you agree? That's definitely popped up. It's easy to see that kind of thing with a stereoscope like this. Not so easy for you guys. I'm going to see what that part is. Hey Joey, how's it going there? You doing your stream today, or are you occupied with other things? Alright, so this is U8205. And that is our 3v3SO switch. Interesting. It's interesting because, yeah, it's just interesting. (3v3S5), 3v3SO. Now either it's failed for some reason, which is very unusual, or we have a short on one of the sides. And naturally we're surrounded by caps that love to go bang. God, I hate that. Now my worry here is that it is actually going to be welded to the board. Like something came along and, you know, struck it down with a strike like Thor. I'm probably not going to be able to stop that one from getting angry. See, the trouble is if I cover it up like this, I mean, yeah, it saves the cap, but then I spend way too much time warming up everything else. So here we go. So we're probably going to lose this cap. We'll see, we'll see. You know what I'm wondering? The side that was lifted up was the main current transfer side. I am wondering if that didn't sit down properly during manufacturing and subsequently it resulted in a higher resistance going through that circuit. Still, we'll find out. Let's test to see what the rails are, because it might be just the case that the rails are completely shot. So here we go. Please don't beep. Okay, 1K, that's good. Please don't be, you ma. That's not what I wanted to see. Alright. Okay, so 3v3SO is shorted. So now we've got to find out where that is. And as you can see, it's a rail that goes everywhere. Everywhere and everything. God damn. Yeah, SO is full of wake power. I'm going to do a visual check of the board. Like I said, since that power goes everywhere, and it's a very strong short, so I'm going to do a visual check, see if I can find any cap that is actually cracked. And you're probably thinking, why don't you just inject? And it's like, yeah, I can get to injecting later, but to start with, I would just like to have a look, see if there's anything blatant that I missed. But I do have a really nasty, horrible feeling that it might be a board level short. Particularly, I've got this stamp here, this T7, which makes me think this is a replacement board. Jim Hook's going to be laughing his head off right now. I fell for the easy job trap. I proclaimed it before it actually... I celebrated too soon. I mean, maybe it's... What if the rail goes to that part? That rail does go there, I think. It could be that that component is still dead. Well, that's where the corroded charge pump cap was. So if we have a look at the schematic, the charge pump cap's up here. There it goes straight into it. Okay, so I suppose the question is, what's the bet that people think it's this? Do you think that it makes more sense for it to be the audio chip that we had the damage on here, or something else? I mean, in my opinion, it fits the bill. So I am actually going to take a gamble, and you can all laugh at me if I get this wrong, but I'm going to take a gamble and actually lift that chip, because it wouldn't hurt to have a look under it anyway. Oh, whoops, sorry. There we go. Because I'm thinking, well, if that was corroded, then yeah, kind of makes sense to me. We'll do a no flux option. They do have a bit of a reputation for failure, yes indeed. The reason why I'm doing no flux in this particular instance, because I want to see if there's any crustiness. Okay, no crustiness. Let's see if that short's gone away though. So this is over here where the short was. And we're still very much shorted. Crap. Oh well. I was kind of hoping that would have made a lot of sense to me. Okay, well at this point I guess we go injector. Ah, it sucks. It's going to be funny if it was something else over here that's shorted out. Better not be under here. Yeah, you make these gambles now and then. You make an educated guess. You kind of think, well, there was corrosion around that area, so it wouldn't be unheard of for there to be also additional damage in that area. It didn't play out this time, or at least it didn't play out for the chip. So yeah, let's hope it's not an internal board short, because it's quite a strong short. Definitely is scaring me a little. Okay, I'll kind of see if I can find a better mounting point than that there. Look for some chunky caps. Why is there never a big fat chunky cap when you want one? Nope, looks like that's probably about the biggest spot for it. So we're just gonna have to go with that then. The 220 caps, yeah, there's a bit of scarring, but I'm not really thinking it's them. It's not unusual to see a bit of, scuffing on them. I'd be very surprised. I'm not saying it's 100% not likely, but I'm saying it would be very surprised. It bothers me though that this part was elevated. That's why I'm a little worried it's going to be an internal board short. Guess what? Do not touch the soldering iron with your knuckle. It hurts. Okay, we've got to be careful, we don't want to rip that out. Okay. Hey, solder bridge. Let's see, 0.9 volt, 1 amp. It's going to max out on that anyway. Okay, power supply's up. See what happens when I just kick it in. Okay, 225 milliwatts. That's more than ample. Assuming it's not a board short, 200 milliamps is more than enough to find it, even without waiting for this board to completely cool down. And if need be, I can push the current up a little more. That's just with 1 amp. I just prefer to keep it at the lowest value I can to get the result I want. Come on, you're waking up? I might just put a USB-C charge on this. Okay. Okay, so here we go. So 223. I'm not liking the fact that nothing is actually showing up. In fact, the damn heatsink is showing. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. I'll flip it over and have a look. The fact that we don't have a jump out crosshair of hot is bad news. Might have to kill the lights. Alright. We may have a little bit of heat building up on the bottom left there. See this activity here? We'll just power off and see if it fades. Probably should get a... Where's my towel? Kind of looks like it could be fading. Not sure. Okay, let's power back on. Alright, there's a little bit of an area developing here. It could be on the other side. We're just kind of having to do bit by bit here. No, nothing too definitive there. You basically just have to bit by bit work your way across the board. It is really not helping that I've got all the heat from the hot air on the bench. So I might have to put a block under it. The hot air from the bench is ruining the ratiometric examination of it. Yeah, it's just the mat's hot. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we might have something developing there in that node. Let's see if we turn it off. Unfortunately, it's sort of staying there. Let's try again. That looks more realistic, like that might be it. Yeah, because when I've turned off, you see it all spreads out. And based on that behavior, it could be definitely on the other side, which is what we don't want. Because all we've got under there is the... that chip there is the, what do you call it? Thunderbolt chip. Yes, here we go, power on. Doesn't quite feel right though. Yeah, sorry Sniper, we're just doing it bit by bit. We can't do it all at once. We have to slowly work our way into it. Yeah, I know it seems obvious. You're like looking to go, just, you know, flip it over. It's, you gotta take these things a bit at a time. Definitely not my first rodeo when it comes to chasing IR faults. Let's have a check to see what's in that area. So we're looking at... There's not a lot there. That's the problem. There's not a lot there. And this is the only thing we've got. Thunderbolt. Oh, good God, no. Come on, can't be Thunderbolt. It doesn't even make sense. Or at least not enough. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. I'm just going to check the rest of the board. It can, but I'm still not 100% convinced. So I'm going to check the rest of the board just in case. Power on. I think that's just a reflection. Yeah. Yep. Surprising just how damn reflective a lot of this stuff is. Yeah, we're definitely getting a heat build up there. Stupid Thunderbolt. Alright, let's pop the cover off the Thunderbolt and see what happens. Okay, no power, so that's good. See what happens. Now's a great time for the infrared camera to stop working properly. Yep, look at that. Thunderbolt cooking up. What a pain. What a literal absolute pain in the backside. Uh-oh, somebody knocked a cable off. Shit. You know, I was worried about the cable getting torn off. Yeah, I think we just made our problems worse. Damn it. Jim's fault. I think we've taken the pad out. That's stupid. Alright, we got lucky. We didn't take the pad. It just simply, because I weakly soldered it, it let go. Thank goodness for that. Good reason not to do an excellent solder joint on your injection pads. Okay, let's have a look at that Thunderbolt. And yes, I have done Thunderbolts before. Usually I just clip out that center brace, and the only thing is I'm not 100% convinced it's actually the chip. But I guess realistically I just need to pull it and see. That's what everyone else is thinking. Okay, well, I can see a burn mark on there. I'm sure you all can see it too. So yeah, that's definitely a Thunderbolt chip that got hit. I wonder what the hell hit it. Which means the TVS diodes are probably popped too. Alright, let's get this chip out. Eddie, I think at this point we're pretty much definitively seeing that it's that chip. Okay, let's get the hot air rolling. Someone needs some light in here. Protect the CD3215. We don't want to have to be redoing that, because if you do the one, you probably got to do the next one. It becomes a disaster. Oh yeah, solder bridge, yeah. That's because you're just seeing the back end of it. It's a piece of crap. If you saw the side of it, it's horrible. The poor thing. It needs probably $5,000 thrown onto it, and I just don't have the money for that. But yeah, that is it. What I'm really upset about with the Street View is that they came along just days before I finished moving all the rubbish out of the front yard under the tree. And I was just like, I cannot believe that I missed it by that much. So now for the next 15 years I'm going to have that car out there with a bunch of rubbish. Alright, let's see if our short's gone. Fingers crossed. Yep, short's cleared. So it is indeed the Thunderbolt. So yeah, 1.36k. Well, that's somewhat annoying, isn't it? Alright, no worries. Oh, it's the 10 o'clock insulin time. Okay, I'll be back after administering insulin. And having a drink. Alrighty, so we've got to get ourselves a matching Thunderbolt controller, reball it, install it. So which one we got here? 6540. Ow. I'm not too sure I trust this one. Looks like this board has been through hell and back. Yeah, you're a distant possible. Let's see if the other side's any better. Doesn't look any better. In fact, the fact that that's reflowed there, yeah, I'd say that's probably not a smart thing to do. Oh, geez. I'm supposed to go up in quality with the next board. Oh, what the fuck? That's gone. Ah, they use a different one for these, damn it. I was kind of hoping being a 1707 that might have had one, but nope. No such luck. These 850s won't have it either. Okay, keep looking. We might be forced to have to use one of those really questionable ones. I mean, I hope not, but beggars can't be choosers, eh? See, this is actually a 92 whatever board. 923. So 6540, we'll take it. Well, hopefully it doesn't have some sort of specific programming in it that I'm going to have to meddle with, but fingers crossed we're all okay. Yeah, usually for this I should be using my flipper. That was probably a tad aggressive. As long as all the pads stayed on there, I'm happy. I'm going to have to use the bigger tip. come on. I've flipped it over upside down on the bench, trying to get it to come up now. There we go. I'm not too worried about the various imperfections of the balling here. We are reballing it, but it's already now got leaded solder on it, so we can get away with a bit of a messier surface. Saves me having to, rub it down with, what do you call it, wick or anything like that. As long as it's reasonably okay. Just trying to use the surface of the gloves to scrub this off a bit. I'll be using paste. And I've got to find a suitable stencil. Should have one. Looks like we've got this one here, which has been used a few too many times already. That's just me scrubbing down that stencil. Oop, that needs some work. Looks acceptable. Bit of junk still floating around in there. Right, now we actually got to find some paste that we can use. Ooh boy. This will be the fun part. It looks a little bit too crusty maybe. Yeah, I think it's a little bit too crusty, that one. I don't want to have to go and flip and make up some new paste. Let's see, any of this stuff any good? No, look, that's some random crap from the ceiling. Fantastic. There's a bit of pliability in that. Yeah. Yeah, well, it's pretty filthy though. I reckon if we heat that up, it might be okay. Help if I get rid of that little dooby decker. I think we might be able to just get a little bit more life out of that paste. It's only been there a month. Oops. Got dribbles on the... Hey, look at that. Perfect. Certainly better than I am. This is going to be a little bit iffy. Okay, we're doing it 270, 15% air. It's very marginal. Yeah, the stencil's the problem. I already upset the stencil because I hit it with that hot air. We'll see how we go. Well, it started out nice and then it went dead. I'd say about a dozen of those are not sitting properly, so I'm just waiting for the stencil to cool off a bit. I'm going to apply a little bit of flux up the top right there, or just all over it. Then we'll go back over it again. Like I said, I kind of ruined it when I hit the stencil with the hot air when I was trying to soften the paste. And it made it buckle off, whereas normally I can sort of slowly bring it up to temperature. But I kind of botched that one up big time. Anyway, let's see how we go now. Otherwise I'll just redo it. Give the stencil a chance to cool back down and then redo it. No, that's fucked. I mean, whoops, sorry, can't say that. Like I said, that's all my own fault. I got crazy with that. Alright, just do it again. No biggie. Yeah, this stuff is very, it's very quick to get cranky. bit of blowout. Hey David, yeah, we're still on the 1706. We've got a replacement Thunderbolt controller we've got to deal with. And we would have been there already, except Mr. Daniels here got a little impatient, a little silly, and he messed up his pasting reflow because he kind of overcooked this. Yeah, anyway. I mucked up. We'll just leave it at that, okay? A little bit excessive on that lower section there. Okay, that's better. Alright, let's try this again. I feel like I want different tweezers. No, buggered it up. Yeah, I might be able to rescue it. Maybe not. We'll see how we go. I don't know why it's been particularly fickle tonight. Got one ball missing. Missing middle. We can put that one back when we are ready. In the meantime, we'll just get these to sit in place. Too much flux. Believe me guys, it's as frustrating for me as it is for you. I don't normally have this sort of performance issue, but clearly I am, so therefore I cannot deny that I'm having a performance issue here. Starting to think that my 270/17 actually needs to go higher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to go. Ah, bloody hell. Yeah. No. Okay, I'm going to see if I've got another one of these stencils. For some reason, I'm just not getting along with that one today. But I have a feeling I don't have any others. Wow, bad day. I'm sure you can appreciate, though, my frustration given that, you know, this is a stencil that's been used plenty of times before, and pretty much always it's works, yeah, first time it's fine. So the fact that it's given me grief today, all because I'm on live stream, yeah, you can imagine my frustration. Because I'm sitting here thinking, well, this is the way I normally do it, without dramas, and yet tonight, it's giving me dramas. Because now I know, obviously, you know, there's other ways of going about this. Then why would you go about it other ways when you traditionally do fine with it the way you normally do it? So why would you change the way you do it? Yeah, it's like when you do something the way you normally do it, and then all of a sudden when you're showing off, it doesn't. If this doesn't work, then yeah, I'm just going to do a full re-wipe, as much as I hate to. Yeah, I know, there's that one in the middle that's annoying me. Nothing... Yeah, there's some unevenness, but there's nothing really severely jumping out, so I'm happy with that. Blimey heck. Okay, now this on the other hand, we are going to have to hot air wick. It's going to leave a horrible mess. Let's find the right tweezers for the job. Load them up with a bit of flux, spread that around. Oh, there's going to be one, isn't there? See that one little ball up there that just like, nope, I'm going to defy you. I'm not going to get drawn up into your propaganda. Ah, stupid focus. Okay, looks like we got a defiant one in the middle there. Yep. I got trolls, really? Right, whoops. Oh, gotta remember where the flippin' pin 1 is. Let's see, bottom left. Which is there. One ball and the bottom wasn't clean. Yeah, it's possible. You're talking about that one. They're all good. They're within the margin of tolerance. Honestly, I'm more worried about threads. I think that's pretty close to being about where I can get it. Here goes. If everything goes wrong, we'll just have to do it again. Hey Harold, oh, I did see your email, I just haven't had a chance to reply to it. But it's your ring light. It's your incarnation of the ring light. We still have to put the audio chip back on. I just realised that. We need to reball an audio chip and put that, and we need to reball the 3v3, the 3, yeah. It's not finished by a long way right now. Right, so we need another one of those audio chips. In fairness, the audio chip, like I said, I removed it because I felt like it was a viable candidate. There was a reasonable level of suspicion surrounding it. So I'm not upset that I removed it. Because, you know, generally I'm disinclined to remove chips just for the sake of removing them. I thought that there was a fairly reasonable chance that it was a culprit, but in this case I was wrong. However, you can't be perfect 100% of the time. We'll just have to accept that one. Alright, we need to find another one of those chips. I think iPhones even have them. You got a nick out of you. What about this one? What? Oh, you've already been taken. You've been taken. Uh-huh. 850, 850, 239. It's probably also been taken. Has it? No, it's... okay. Like I said, I'm fairly sure those chips exist in many places. And that's got some chunkiness taken out of it too. I trust that one even less than the other one that I rejected. They're extremely delicate chips, so it's understandable. Alright, let's see what else has them. Ah, it's over here. I do have the one that I took off, but I'm going to assume it's potentially faulty, so I'm not going to use it. But as you can see, they're everywhere, these chips. Like 2141, 1990, 875. That's 1708. 239's 1706. Yeah, these are more... okay, well, the 1700s, what do you call it? I have got a heap of those, so I may as well put them to use. Okay, I think that's enough. Thank you. There we go. Wrong side of the board, Paul. There we go. There we go. Got a little bit of a nick out the side. I mean, realistically, these chips do generally have little nicks out of them. Like that one there's also got a very subtle nick. It doesn't kill them, but I'm just trying to find the best of the best. Perfect. They like to say critical for these things. I can get this is probably going to be able to boot even without that chip. You just won't get any audio. Critical means different things on the schematic. Not sure Apple knows. Oh, it took too long. Now I've got to add more. If you can get it just right, you should be able to sweep the whole chip in one pass. I'll accept that. Hey Armin, welcome. Oh, Jim Allen's here, I just saw that. Did I say hello to you before, Jim? Sorry if I didn't. Yeah, it's okay, there's a bump on it, I know. I can see it. It's not critical. Alright, at least with these ones, I can use the stencil type that I really like using. Like I have these little black stencils, they're for the iPhones and things like that, but I find them to be exceptionally good for a lot of this work. Assuming I can find the right pitch. Might be the other one that I need to use. This one here is iPhone 8. There we go. Bit of junk there. I know, it's all good. Get our excessively crunchy paste. Try and get rid of all the damn fibers. These are carpet fibers. This is the trickier part. Ooh, we got one there that didn't sit down. Okay. Kind of got blessed that it didn't jump out in that case. We'll just go back over that. We're not going to hold it with the stencil. We're not going to hold the stencil down. We're just going to. It should theoretically pop itself off now, and hopefully that pad will drop. There we go. So that's down. Just wait for it to solidify. Yeah, it's silly. It is a solid anyway. Liquid, yeah. You know what I mean. It's not a gas. There we go. Perfect. And we will just get these to recenter. They should be okay because we didn't force the stencil to sit in a position, you know, we allowed it to just move where it wanted to move. All right. Oh man. This is probably the last room in the house that has this old carpet in it. I ripped it out of my programming admin office, and I'm really thinking I'm going to have to rip it out of this office now. Okay, so pin 1 is... where are you? Pin 1 is top right. It's up here. Yeah, this is 460 but 35% air, so it's a very low air, well, relatively low air value. And zwink, there it goes. A few more seconds, yep, there we are. The inner balls have now reflowed. We're good. And that now leaves us with the 3v3 switch. Geez, I hope this works. I will admit I'm very thankful though that the pads, the board itself has not lifted. I was genuinely worried that the circuit board had delaminated from, you know, whatever the short was. So it was rather unusual that it had lifted. Now of course we may fix all this and we find that unfortunately whatever it was that took out our Thunderbolt chip actually took out everything else. Oh wow, what are the chances? Donor board's got that missing. So it's still entirely possible that there are many other elements in that, yeah, on the whole board that have died from whatever caused the Thunderbolt and this thing to die. Okay, I mean, we don't know that this thingamajig had died. All we know is that it was resting rather unusually on the board. But that could have simply been just a factory hiccup, which is not unusual. You know, you get tombstone parts all the time. It's just, you know, par for the course when it comes to board assembly. Sorry, I'm just checking some things. Right, all good. We did check to see if the short was gone, and it was after we removed the Thunderbolt chip. Like I don't have the amount of light I want in here at the moment. Just going to put this in the cooler. Wash down the bench because we've got flux and stuff on it now. And solder paste. Just have a look at the USB-C inputs. They look pretty good. There's no problem on that one. They look fine too. What I might do is I'm just going to, because if the Thunderbolt chipped, then it's possible the TVSs might have popped. I mean, it's not to say it is, because it was the 3v3 side that died. It wasn't the outer side that died. But we'll check it anyway. As soon as I can think of where I'll put the test block. Jeez, Paul, ever thought of organising? Ha 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 ha. Trouble is, you organise and you lose everything. Melted the sticker. Amateur. Yes, that's our right side. So it was the left side that got taken out. We don't even know if the CD3215s are okay. So there's a lot of unknowns with this one. Okay. How's the USB flex? Oh, it seemed fine. Is that what I just checked that before? Okay, no complaints on that. I should note that this is only testing the externally accessible pins, as it were. But it is looking more like it was, I don't even know what kind of failure this was. But it was more of an internal failure, not an external failure. Back. Yeah, no problems there. Just sometimes it's nice to double check these things, kind of like when I always double check the 2v5 NAND values before I power up a 1990 or 2141. You just like to give yourself that little bit of, I could say, that small data point before you commence with powering up. That data point that says, well, the numbers were good from what we could test. Very worst case scenario, we can always put the lifeboat on this and extract the data through that connector. Fine, be difficult. Alright, so here we go. There's no speakers on this. Well, I haven't plugged them in. Oh. Where's my plastic one? Don't use metal spudges to get this data cable in for the battery. Could be a regretful thing to do. Well, good start. The fans aren't going crazy. We're charging normally. Now we wait. Yep, that's a full log. Full login. And we've got 3% battery. Fixed. Good enough anyway. Phew. Sorry, double message. What the flux? What? Yeah, no bong because we took the battery out, the speakers out. Alright, well, I'm going to cut this very short. It's already past 11 o'clock, so that turned out from being a it's a 5-minute fix to that has taken us 2.5 hours, which is a very marginal, a little bit too much time spent, but at least it's a good fix. So we'll just have to clean up the board a little bit, a bit of Joey rubbing, and yeah, it should be good. Go and survive again for another couple of years. The battery looks good, everything else looks good. So, but I'm kind of curious as to what did take out that Thunderbolt chip, and whether it had anything at all to do with the corrosion on the flyback charge pump voltage doubler for the audio side of things, or whether it was all just, you know, a bit of coincidence. Thanks, Paul. I did see you. I was wondering if you were still around. Good to see you up. Okay. Alright then, well that's it for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it as always, and I'll see you on the next one, whenever that may be. In the meantime, please, you all do take care of yourselves, and I'll see you when I see you. Take care. Catch you later.